France is one of the biggest countries in Europe, and that also means they have a great collection of theme parks and roller coasters. And in one of my recent videos I got the request, France next please, from ABcoasters7281. Well, your request has been granted, so now I've collected a total of 15 of the best roller coasters in France, and there might be some surprising coasters on this list, so sit back, relax and enjoy this video. And now coming in at spot number 15 we have Namazu at Vulcania, and this roller coaster really did confuse me at the start. I really thought that this was an intimate family coaster, but they say it's a multi-dimensional coaster, and I get it. It has a very well themed pre-show with a drop track, and this really is a great way to start a roller coaster. Namazu flies into its first tire propelled launch, but the whole layout on Namazu is a bit milder compared to the other intimate motorbike coasters. Almost the whole ride layout except the start stays low to the ground, and you have a second tire propelled launch, and yet again this is one of the milder layouts, but it's still awesome. The awesome theming and starting drop track really lifts this roller coaster experience up. Coming in at spot number 14 we have Twist at Les Palais, and this is just a quality Mack Rides family spinning roller coaster. Judging by the intensity of these layouts, I would argue that they are called family thrill coasters. This cool Mack Rides spinning coaster layout really has a great drop. It also has a crazy overbank turn and many twists and turns. And the best thing about this coaster model is the crazy pacing all these family spinners have. Combined with a very great pacing, great spinning, great layout, you have a great family coaster. So Les Palais can be proud over their Mack Rides spinner. And now coming in at spot number 13 we have Timber at Walibi Rhone Alps, and Timber is a part of a great wooden roller coaster model by the Gravity Group. This manufacturer just knows how to make great family coasters. These Gravity Group woodies just pack so much airtime in its layouts. Funny enough, many of these small wooden roller coasters packs a lot more punch than big steel roller coasters. Timber at Walibi Rhone Alps is no exception. This has a great drop, great airtime moments and many low to the ground sharp maneuvers. The only negative thing I can say about this roller coaster is that the layout is a bit short compared to the other Gravity Group woodies. And speaking of Gravity Group woodies, at spot number 12 we have Wood Express at Parc St. Paul, and lucky enough for Parc St. Paul they have the better wooden roller coaster by the Gravity Group. Wood Express is yet again an awesome family coaster by the Gravity Group, but what makes this roller coaster better than the other one? Well, Wood Express has a much longer layout and it has more elements. This small wooden roller coaster really has 13 different airtime moments on the layout, and you know me, I'm a sucker for airtime. While Timber showcased its speed, low to the ground maneuvers and airtime, this coaster just showcases airtime element after airtime element and so on. And combined with a much more lengthy layout, this is the better coaster. So now moving on at spot number 11 we have Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain at Disneyland Paris. And what can I really say about this roller coaster? The exterior, it just looks so beautiful, and we all know that Disney goes all in with the theming. And the coolest visual is when you can see the roller coaster train going through the inclined launch. But let me be honest, the exterior design is way better than the ride experience itself. Hyperspace Mountain has a punchy inclined launch and a few decent inversions. This layout indoors really pulls some serious positive G-forces, but unfortunately the ride experience is quite rattly. But what can you expect from an old Vekoma looping roller coaster? But Disneyland has helped us a bit by putting new Vekoma trains on with wrist restraints, so there's zero headbanging. And coming in at spot number 10 we have Pegasus Express at Parc Asterix, and this roller coaster is really a great family roller coaster by Gerstlauer. And Gerstlauer is also known for creating lengthy and very special track elements on these family coasters. In terms of special elements, Pegasus Express has a tired launch out of the station, it has a lift hill, it has a backward launch, and that's just awesome. And the whole layout also combines two special switch track pieces. And speaking of layout, Pegasus Express is a very lengthy ride that flies over the water, and combined with a few floater pops on the airtime hills, ooh, that's a nice ride. And now coming in at spot number 9 we have Yukon Quad at Les Palais, and this roller coaster is part of the awesome roller coaster model by Intamin called the Family Coaster, man. And the Family Coaster is mainly the motorbike coasters for Intamin. Yukon Quad features two tire propelled launches that takes riders up to 50 and 52 miles per hour, and that is 80 and 85 kilometers per hour. The rest of the ride is very lengthy, intense, and features a lot of twist and bank turns, and this ride really pulls some great positive G-force, especially after the second rolling launch. In my opinion, these roller coasters are so intense in the second half, they pull a lot of G-forces and they are very fast, so they could be thrill coasters in my opinion. Coming in at spot number 8 we have Tonnerre to Zeus at Parc Asterix. This roller coaster is known for its famous Zeus statue that has duck underpants on, so go look that up if you want to. They are pink by the way. And this really is a big wooden roller coaster by the Gravity Group, and this roller coaster has recently undergone a refurbishment, so it's a lot better now. This Gravity Group woody really is a very intense roller coaster with a lot of airtime moments. Mainly the airtime moments are a combination of flowjector, airtime and floater. This roller coaster can be a bit too rough for many people, but the lengthy ride just makes up for it, man. I love it. And this coaster train features a backwards facing row at the end of the train, and that's just the most out of control experience you can get. And at spot number 7 we have Mystic at Walibi Rhone Alps, and this really is a great and short steel roller coaster made by Gerstlauer. Mystic is a Gerstlauer infinity coaster, and that means the Gerstlauer has lap bars that that's so awesome. Mystic has quite a short layout, but it has some special track elements I want to talk about. The ride has a very steep twisted drop combined with decent airtime moments and inversions, but in the end you have a twisted vertical stall that leaves you on your head, and this hang time is just crazy. And then the coaster train goes backwards a bit, and then you go into the station again. Bye bye. And now at spot number 6 we have Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland in Paris. And for me this is really one of the best Vekoma mine trains on the world, and in France this is the best family coaster for me. You have your typical free lift hill lengthy ride mine train layout by Vekoma of course, but this version of Big Thunder Mountain just seems way faster on the whole layout. And not to mention this roller coaster has its own themed island, and that's so awesome. You have to go under the ground to get over there on the whole layout. So a much faster and out of control Big Thunder Mountain version with 2 tunnels out to the island, that's just better, man. And coming in at spot number 5 we have Monster at Walligator Gland is the and I'm sorry, I don't really know how to pronounce that name, but it's very funny to see this huge B&M inverted coaster standing in this remote park in France. This ride has your typical B&M inverted coaster lengthy layout with many inversions, and the positive G-forces just hit different on this one. And in my opinion I would say this is a high tier B&M invert, because after you have ridden this you can feel it in the legs of course. You know it's an intense ride when the blood starts to fly away, man. And coming in at spot number 4 we have Alpina Blitz at Nikloland. This is overall Mack Ride's take on the Intamin Mega Light roller coaster. Alpina Blitz is a small thrill rides roller coaster that mainly focuses on airtime moments. The ride starts off great with a decent drop and then a strong bank turn with positive G-forces. After that this roller coaster really has a very lengthy layout combining many airtime moments, and the feelings are a bit between floater and flowjector airtime. You could argue that Alpina Blitz is a bit too long because the train is very slow at the end of this ride. And at spot number 3 we have Osiris at Parc Asterix. And yet again we have another intense B&M inverted coaster in France. And what makes this coaster better than the other one is that Osiris has a custom awesome layout by B&M, and it also has a lot of theming to look at, man. Osiris really doesn't have your typical B&M invert layout. This layout also has strong positive G-force heavy overbanks and a big drop under the ground and up again. And yet again this is a very forceful B&M invert, and unfortunately I actually felt a decent amount of rattle in the back row of this one. And coming in at spot number 2 we have Mahuka at Walibi Rhone Alps. And this was actually a new for 2024 roller coaster, and this is of course Intamin's take on the popular RMC Raptor roller coaster, but this roller coaster is actually great. This Intamin single ray roller coaster has much more to offer than their prototype. Mahuka really has a very lengthy double launch layout with many airtime hills and inversions. This ride layout really feels very fast paced combined with many ejector airtime moments, and of course also some floater airtime. So this roller coaster model really is promising for Intamin. And coming in at spot number 1 we have Totatis at Parc Asterix. This was the new for 2023 Intamin multi-launch coaster, and this is just a great one. I always describe Totatis as a more complete version of Pantheon. You have an awesome start with a small punchy launch and then a little inverted stall. And then you have an iconic swing launch section with ejector airtime and then also weightlessness on the backward stall of course. Main Top had its best experience in the front row for the airtime, but after the disappointing first drop because of the trims you have a full size layout with an awesome stall, decent turn, ejector airtime hill and whippy inversions. And that is why Totatis is the best coaster in France. And now let's quickly see the parks with most coasters on this list. And here we have Parc Asterix with 4 coasters on my list, and after that we have Walibi Rhone Alps with 3 total coasters. So now you know what parks to go to in France if you like roller coasters. Now we finally reached the end of this video. Did you like my video? Did you hate my video? What are your thoughts? Have I missed some roller coasters in France? Let me know in the comments. And after that I have to say this, but that is just bye bye.